Hi, this is Divya from SNS College of Technology belonging to the Department of Electronics and Communication Engineering. Today we are going to see about Essence of Indian Traditional Knowledge. 19 HST 105 is the course code. Another unit 1 Ancient India and State Polity, we are going to see Kingship. Kingship means what are the duties that king should be followed to rule their kingdom. The king was the most important figure in the body politic. In Saptanga theory of state developed by Kautilya, the king has been described as the head or important organ of the state. The king has performed multi-dimensional function. King's functions involved in the protection not only of his kingdom against external aggression, but also of life, property, and traditional custom against internal force. He protected the purity of class and caste by ensuring that those who challenged the system were excommunicated. He protected the family system by punishing adultery and ensuring the fair inheritance of family property. He protected widows and orphans by making them his wards. He protected the rich against poor by suppressing robbery, and he protected the poor against the rich by punishing extortion and oppression. Religion was protected by liberal grants to learned Brahmins and temples and frequently to heterodox sects also. The ideal set before the king was one of the energetic beneficence. Ashoka was not only the king of India to proclaim that all men were his children or to take pride in his casteless activity to for the welfare of his subjects. Arthasastra says, despite his advocacy of every dishonest expenditure for the acquisition and maintenance of power, puts forward the kingly duty in simple and forceful language. Setting an ideal with few ancient civilization can boast of comparing the king and the ascetic. It says, the happiness of his subject lies the king's happiness, in the welfare of his subject, his welfare. The king's good is not that which pleases him, but that which pleases his subjects. Elsewhere, Arthashastra suggests a timetable for the king's day, which allow him only for 4 hours sleep and 3 hours for eating and recreation, the rest of the day being spent in state affairs of one kind or another. No doubt such a program was rarely kept in practice, but it at least showed the ideal at which the king was expected to aim. In all the sources, king is told that he must be prompt in administration of justice and always accessible to his people. The swans of God, ushers, and the other officials who surrounded the king's person must often have demanded bribes, otherwise have obstructed the access of the subject to his sovereign. But the best of Indian kings at all times have made the public audience or darbar an important instrument of government. Ideal before the king in ancient India was that of being a Chakravarti, meaning a king, who ruled over the united vast territory of Indian subcontinent and extending from Kashmir to Kanyakumari. With the Mauryans, this possibility was substantially realized and was incorporated into Buddhist tradition and blended with later Vedic imperialistic ideas, then taken over by Orthodox Hinduism. Just as Buddha appeared from time to time in the cosmic cycle, heralded by auspicious omens and endowed with favorable signs to lead all living beings along the road to enlightenment. So, under universal emperors appeared to conquer all India and rule prosperously and righteous. The concept of universal emperor was also known to the Jainas, and in the epics, numerous kings of legend such as Yudhishthira and Rama are said to have been Digivijayans or conquerors of all the four quarters. According to Altekar, the position, power, and privileges of the king varied from age to age. During this prehistoric period, the king was the only senior-most member in Council of Peace, when he often owned his position to an election, either real or formal. When there was a popular council, to actively supervise his administrative. His position was often insecure and powers were limited. After 500 BC, the office of king was elevated to a new height. During this period, the king became the effective head of executive administration, and there was no popular assembly like Samiti to check him. He controlled both the treasury and the military force through commander in chief, and treasurers were under him. Ministers were selected by the king and held office at his pleasure. The king presided over the council of ministers, and his decision had to be received royal assent. Thank you.